This is Peter J. Pollack, MD, with another Medical Practice Trends podcast, and our guest today is Mike Meikle of Hawthorne Group, a Richmond, Virginia consulting firm. Welcome, Mike.
Hello, Dr. Pollack.
So our topic today is ICD10 coding, the deadline extension, and what it means for providers. Kind of give everyone a little refresher, as if they didn't know already, what ICD10 is and what's the latest news on it.
Currently, a lot of providers are still using something called ICD10, their billing codes and treatment codes. And there's been a mandate by the federal government to move to ICD10, which the rest of the world has been using for quite some time. ICD10 has about 13,000 treatment and billing codes, whereas ICD10 has 68,000 plus codes. So basically we're moving from ICD9, which is very vague, to ICD10, which is very detailed. And this has sort of been an ongoing push by the feds to move toward this ICD-10 standard.
But some of those detail are kind of ridiculous, like eye injury caused by a pencil on a Tuesday by a green leprechaun.
Yep. I think there's actually that code. But yeah, it's way more detailed than a lot of folks who've been in the healthcare industry for any length of time are used to. And it's been problematic. The AMA was at one time looking just to halt the ICD-10 efforts because it was causing such a loss of productivity and additional training costs and revenue cycle problems, etc.
So originally, it was supposed to be implemented by October of next year, 2013.
That's right. But they've now, because of some of the pushback they've been getting by providers, they've tentatively put out their additional year to be compliant, so that's October 1st, 2014. That's proposed. It's not the definite law of the land, but we're going to see at least a year extension on this, which is good.
Now, for the typical practice that maybe is about to do EMR or has recently done EMR, and let's say they're using a reputable certified EHR system, a lot of this is going to be kind of built in, right? Those systems will be upgraded.
Yeah, if you're looking at a practice that's been in business for, maybe 10, 15 years and has been moving toward the EMR EHR solution, doesn't have a lot of legacy applications, and it shouldn't be as bad of a transition on the technology side. We still have a significant training cost of staff who are going to be moving from the old ICD-9 codes to 10. As we talked, 13K to 68K is a significant amount. So there will be training costs, but at least you don't have all the legacy systems to worry about and integrating into that.
So besides training and provider integration, any other aspects that you think this will kind of bleed over into?
Well, I sort of spin it, this whole transition is sort of like Y2K for those of folks who went through that whole process. Y2K for healthcare, where every single date had to be changed in old software. This is similar, whereas this is a whole business process that's going to have to be updated. So once again, testing, training, integrating with your provider systems is going to be big. People are concerned about revenue cycles and whether or not these new codes are going to cause late payments or delayed payments. So basically, from soup to nuts, it's going to impact healthcare providers, especially larger ones with legacy systems.
So the bigger ones are the ones that are going to have the trouble.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's very expensive. And then, of course, they can look forward to ICD-11, which is on the horizon.
Oh, my gosh.
It was supposedly going to be required to be put into place by 2015, but with this new delay from Health and Human Services, that is probably going to be pushed out too. But there's nothing definite on that.
So what does HHS take on this whole thing?
Well, they've been really pushing forward with this because it provides the level of detail for billing that they're really interested in. And of course, this ties into sort of like healthcare reform, where they're looking at what are they being billed for, especially on the Medicare and Medicaid side. Whereas the old ICD-9 codes are so vague, you could stick a lot of treatments and billing in there and not be very specific. 10 will be able to provide a lot more granular detail. That's the theory. How it works in practice, who knows?
Well, Mike, if someone wanted to get more information from you or contact you, how could they do that?
The easiest way to contact me is just go directly to my website, which is www.mikemeikle.com. That's MikeMeikle.com.
Well, thanks very much.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.